The thing that's so impressive about Butler is their toughness, and that was evident the first half. I thought our starters did a phenomenal job in both halves defensively. They 0 for their first. They did not score in their first 7 possessions both halves. So our attention to detail and what we were supposed to do defensively to start the game and start the half, which obviously are very important parts of the game, was outstanding. We had that little run to start the second half that got us back in it. But what makes Butler good is you can stop them 7 times, you can punch them in the mouth, and they're so tough that they just don't quit, they don't get shook. And they really out-toughed us the first half. 16 points, second chance opportunities of their 34, which is it's a hard way to live. So really challenged the guys at halftime to try to win the toughness battle the second half, and I thought we did a much better job of that. And obviously Maurice's foul trouble slowed our transition game down the first half. We got that going, and I think we're able to get them back in their heels and get some easy baskets as a result of that. But a great win for our program.
Both guys, just how satisfying is the win, given what happened here the last time we were
I mean, it's very satisfying. We've been working really hard defensively. I mean, in practice, we've been doing defensive drills for 20, 30 minutes every day. And we really wanted to accomplish something defensively these last couple of games, and I think we've done it. Props to Butler. I mean, Dunham hit a lot of good shots, a lot of tough shots. But like Matt said, we were the tougher team in the second half, and we got the lead, and we were doing what we had to do according to the scout that we had.
I think we did a great job just with sticking with our plan and still playing through our shooting woes. Things, with this being such a great arena, there's always things going on, like concerts and things like that. So we don't always get to practice in here the way we can. So for us to play through us, not shooting well in here, and to lock up on defense and to beat a good, solid Butler team, for our first win over a ranked team, just shows how much our hard work has paid off. Yeah, for sure. They went zone, which kind of slowed us down. And we went, 6 for 24 from 3. But, against Nova, we went 5 for 23. And against Providence, we went 5 for 23. So those numbers aren't much different, but we were tougher, like Coach Mack said. And, through those tough times, we stuck together and we stayed as a team. And I think that's what helped us out the most.
It was a huge lift. It wasn't just our offense that was giving us a lift. It was our defense. Like Matt said, I mean, we held them. I mean, we stopped them 7 possessions in a row, and that's definitely going to help boost your offense. And it allowed us to get our transition game going, allowing us to push and get the tempo where we needed it to be. It definitely gave us the lift we needed to come out in the game. I would say he's our heart and soul. I mean, he's a defensive machine. If you watch the tape, Kellen Dunham didn't hit an easy shot all night. Isaiah was there every shot, every possession. Z was just doing what he had to do. And that's what Matt told him to do, and he went out and did what he had to do to help us get the win.
I think Isaiah is, again, like Toby said, the heart and soul of our team. He does so much on the defensive end that it doesn't allow him to be as impactful on offense because he's tired and he's doing so much. But we feed off Isaiah. He's probably the toughest guy we have on the team. To battle through injuries and even in practice he's the toughest guy. So he does a great job every night. And I tell him every night, we go as you go. You know, people see the transition and, you know, they see, you know, me, you know, getting up the floor, you know, fighting guys. But, you know, I get my confidence from Isaiah's toughness. And I think, you know, his toughness is something that we can follow as a team, as like a guide to how we want to play.
Two over the student athletes. You guys obviously had some shooting moves at the free throw line, but when the game was on the line, you stepped up and made shots. I guess talk a bit about the psyche that's involved when the game's on the line.
You know, Coach Mack has been preaching next play, you know, for the longest. You know, next play, next shot. You know, you can't get that one back. You know, so when you miss a tough, you know, when you miss a free throw, you know, it kind of weighs on you because you practice them so much, you know, and you get disappointed in yourself. But when you got your team telling you to keep pushing, and when your coach is telling you next play, I still got faith in you, then it makes it easier, and that is easier on your mental.
It's easier on your coach when you make them.
Any last question?
I guess you see where you're sitting right now at 5-2. This was a big game as far as kind of maybe separating from the middle a little bit. I guess confidence-wise, from where you guys maybe were sitting at this point last year, how do you feel as a unit going forward?
We can't be complacent. We need to continue to do what we do and play Creighton basketball. We can't be satisfied where we are. We have big dreams for this team, and we're going to do whatever it takes, and we're going to do it together.
You know, we lost 8 games to start the conference last year, and just because we've won 5 doesn't mean we can't lose 8 in a row if we get complacent, like Toby said. You know, we got to keep approaching each game. You know, next game is another game to do what we do. And when we don't look ahead and we don't look back and we just, you know, focus on the now, then I think we're going to be good.
Thanks, guys.
See you tomorrow. Good job. Nice job. Good job.
Great kind of following up on what Matt was asking there as far as team 5-2 at this point. It's not bad for a team picked 19. How do you feel about where you stand after 7 games?
I'm with the players. It's in this league, it's so fragile because the league is so competitive, and you have to stay ready. You have to stay prepared. You have to stay in the moment and get ready for the next day because you can't take a breath. Obviously, last year, I'd like to think what we experienced last year. There's enough guys that were either in uniform or in the locker room that were part of that 0-8 start and understand how important one possession can be. And I think there was certainly some learning and maturity that took place as a result of that experience, and it makes you a little bit better this time around. But you know, this was we haven't been in many close games. You know, when we lost. And this was one where, you know, it was close enough there at the end that we had to grind it out and make some plays on both ends of the floor. The confidence you get from that is huge. So happy with where we're at, obviously. You know, it's murderer's row in this league because of the quality of the league. You know, Butler had not lost a game to an unranked team until tonight. And obviously they're playing without Tyler Lewis, and that's a blow to them. You know, anytime you're down a man in this league, you're asking for trouble. And you know, for Roosevelt to have to be out there that much and Kellum to play the whole game, obviously that's tough.
You give up 16-second chance points in the first half. You're looking around, seeing kind of where you're at as far as the scoreboard goes. What do you say to the guys in the locker room before you came out?
Can't totally repeat it. But 6 offensive rebounds and 16 points. So it's one thing to give up the rebound. It's another thing not to dig your heels in and make sure you don't let one mistake be that costly. And I don't know I've ever seen 6 offensive rebounds at halftime and 16 points. I mean, that's incredible. And, you know, we talked about it because, you know, they're tough. You know, Weidman is hard to get off the glass. He's very aggressive, and we didn't have an answer for Martin in the first half, and we did a better job on him the second half. But you know, they're a tough, hard-nosed, physical team. That's how they win. They play a lot of grinded-out games, and you know, we were able to kind of beat them at their own game the second half, which is very difficult to do.
When in that style, what's that going to do for you down the road?
Well, I hope it gives us some confidence. You know, number one, I hope we learn from the mistakes we made the first half. When they have 34 points and 16 of them are a result of an offensive rebound, half their points, you know, you're wasting a lot of defensive energy and execution and letting it fly out the window because you don't execute your block out. So I hope there's some learning that took place there, and then, you know, what we're capable of the second half. Those stops, obviously with Maurice in the game, our tempo's better. So we were able to play a few more possessions the second half. But it was, you know, Butler has been playing faster this year. They chose not to tonight. That didn't surprise me without Lewis. It was only a 67-possession game, and, you know, my guess is their number of possessions on the year are much higher than that. Obviously ours have been as well.
So we kind of call Isaiah, refer to him as the heart and soul. I know people may look at Dunham's numbers and see if he shot 50% from the field, but Isaiah chasing around for 40 minutes and kind of make his looks tough. What did you think about the way he?
Right. I thought he was outstanding. You know, the number that sticks out is the three-point attempts. You know, all the things they do for him to try to get him 3-point shots, and for him to only get 3, heck of an effort by Isaiah. And, you know, Maurice made a great point. It's hard to ask Isaiah to be as efficient as we'd like him to be on offense when you're exerting that much energy on the defensive end. But we thought that was the best matchup. I thought Taz did a great job in the first half on Jones. But Isaiah's been great, and I think his teammates are all well aware of what he's been through. They've seen it on a daily basis for 2 years, what he's had to do to come back from those injuries. And, you know, he's out there. He doesn't miss many practices unless I tell him he's got to sit. And, you know, he's out there and ready to play and do whatever we ask him to do.
How important was it to have a week to prepare for this game?
Oh, I think the week was good for us in the sense that we needed some rest, just to heal up a little bit. You know, Isaiah's knee, Cole obviously is, you know, it's well documented. He's not practicing much. Zach's foot's been bothering him, Jeff's feet. You know, Maurice is playing a lot of minutes. So we didn't really use it for that much extra preparation. We didn't start prep for Butler till Thursday. But we took Monday off, and then those 5 or 6 guys I just mentioned, they took Wednesday off as well. And Tuesday we worked on ourselves. So I felt like the rest was more important this week than maybe what we would have gotten out of another day of preparation.
Seeing the guys make clutch free throws at the end after scoring at the line.
You know, I jinxed us. I just was looking at our stats the other day and saw that we were almost to 70% from the foul line on the season, as bad as we had started. I mean, the last however many games, I don't know what it is. I'd have to ask. Rob would know. But we've shot free throws pretty good recently. So I didn't see this coming. But, you know, we missed a couple key front ends of one-on-ones that had an opportunity to stretch it for us in the first half. But I think we made 10 of 12 down the stretch, which, you know, when the game's being decided and they're fouling like that, you got to step up and make free throws, and we did that.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you.